Okay, take three. So, welcome back. This is going to be kind of off the cuff today. I have to make sure I'm seeing my little thing beep because the last two times I was trying to record, my microphone just wasn't on, so I have two sets of these. Anyway, I am kind of see a background that's different. I am at the airport and I just had to find a corner to kind of record in because I needed to get this video out. So if you hear some kind of rustling or people walking or talking, it is what it is, but you gotta let fires burn sometime, right? So with that said, I'm gonna try to condense things now because now I've said this two times. Um, so I had the most crazy last 2 weeks of my life to date. Um, and it's going, this is not gonna be any video about pitching anything or um, my program or anything like that, but it's just to talk about how many people are dealing with just insane stuff, and then the world being so broken. And I just felt like I needed to do this video for everybody. So with that said, I personally have had an insane last 2 weeks. I was robbed, hacked, stalked. Please do not leave items unattended. Hold on, let me pause. So basically, I also had bizarre things go missing out of my house. I had my airline badges completely go missing out of my house, my $600 cash, VA paperwork, my license plate off my car, a keyboard. I mean, very weird stuff, that I knew that I was absolutely certain was in the places that I had left them. So, and that was was a precursor to then being, I had been stalked by this individual that I had met on Discord, on our Discord group 6 months ago. This individual was a married man that was sexually harassing me, and I got sick and tired of it because I was too nice, and I tried to redirect the conversation, and finally he wouldn't respect my boundaries, and I told him don't contact me again. He didn't like that. He didn't like the fact that I had screenshots of all the things that he'd sent to me because he wanted to paint himself a different picture, I guess, of other, which no one in the group even knew about anything because I didn't care enough to talk about it. And I told the individual, leave me alone. I don't want to even talk about this stuff. Let me make sure this is still recording. Nope, it's not. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. So, and anyway, this individual went insane because I rejected them. Mind you, this person is a married man. It's insane. And it just shown me that just stay out of groups, I guess, because you can't even discuss spiritual things because there's going to be some creeper or some psychotic freak show that's going to come in there and try to ruin your life because you don't want to talk to them and be their friend. So when this individual hacked my iCloud because he apparently went on the dark web and found an old password, because I had reused an old password, so don't ever do that. The Mac store educated me, and proceeded to send messages that were private messages of sensitive nature that were in between two other people to my children, and sent them. I had some screenshots, for example, of before I had surgery that were nude type photos that were in a folder, and I believe he sent them to my children, which my children don't want to see that. And sent private conversations between other individuals to cause dissension. This person is a sicko, an absolute sicko, and I had to go get a restraining order, and I had to go file a police report for identity theft because I believe this person also stole $2,000 out of my bank account. But the point I'm trying to make is it's not just this, what happened to me, but it's the world is freaking broken right now, and if you've been walking around thinking something is deeply wrong and fundamentally off, not just in your life, but in the whole world, and you can't quite explain it, and that people look at you like you're being dramatic, this video is for you, for sure. You're not crazy, you're not broken, you're not too sensitive. I can't stand that when people say that. You're a human being living through something that's never happened before. I mean, nobody's even talking about it, honestly. not like, I mean, you can go onto Reddit and get on some forums and stuff like that, but it's like we live in this age of, I guess you could call it narcissism for sure, because people just think like this crazy guy that it's just like you should just have what you want, you know, and then if you can't have what you want, you're gonna be a big baby and you're gonna go and try to ruin the person's life, you know. So I think what describes a lot of what we're feeling right now is a weird combination of exhaustion and then urgency at the same time. It's like this weird combination, and it's like you're running a race that you like never signed up for, towards a finish line that you know it keeps moving though. You know, it's not like an end. There's never an end, and then someone is simultaneously telling you that the track is on fire. You know, like that's the only way I can like describe it. It's just weird. And it's like scrolling through your phone and feeling worse every single time, but then you're just not able to stop, you know? It's like an addiction. And it's because if you miss, what if you miss something important or you get left behind? You know, it's like this, always this fear of being like left behind, even though, like, left behind of what exactly? You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, watching the news and not being able to tell anymore what's real, because there's AI, and then it's like our leaders are children that are having this little fight, but it causes a lot of damage, you know, with this war and everything. I mean, and it's not even that you're uninformed, it's because these supposedly informed people are contradicting one another. That's the biggest thing. And it's just like feeling like adults are not running the show. It's just a bunch of children, or worse, you know, and it's like a low hum of dread underneath it, everything now. I mean, even on a good day, even when things are technically fine, that's the hum that says something is wrong, and I can't name it. And if that's you, you know, I want you to stay with me, because that feeling has a name, it has an explanation, and it's our nervous system, you know. It's supposed to keep you safe, and it was built for a very different world. That's the problem. It was built for a village, like about 150 people. Their problems, drama, the weather, but not like 8 billion people, right? And it's 8 billion people's trauma delivered to us every single day, when, you know, in a little glass rectangle scrying mirror. I mean, every piece of outrage, every tragedy, every political disaster, everything that's wrong with the world, you know, your brain's trying to file all of that away, and like it's a threat happening to you, because it's just constant. Because evolution, like you could say evolution creation wise, it can't tell the difference, okay? So what happens? Your nervous system, I mean, your nervous system never fully is able to regulate, right? So you're constantly living in a chronic low grade fight or flight state. We were not designed for this. You know, you're exhausted, but you're still wired, and you're checked out, but you're still anxious. You can't focus. You can't make decisions easily. You just don't feel joy the way you used to. It's not even depression. It's like, it's not a weakness. It's a biological response to an impossible amount of input that's coming in. So, sorry, I did have notes that I wanted to follow. And on top of that, you know, we're being told simultaneously that we need to perform better than ever. We need to make more money. We need to build a brand. We need to optimize our mornings, you know, hustle harder, or we'll be left behind. Do you see the paradox though? I mean, like, your nervous system is in survival mode, and then the culture is screaming at you to thrive at the same time and be this person that you're not. And, you know, it's no wonder people are freaking breaking all over the place. It's a trust collapse is what it is, you know? We've lost the floor. This is what people are not talking about. We have lost the floor. You know, think about it. Even the 90s weren't perfect, and they weren't. But there was a shared floor. a shared agreement of reality, a shared shared institutions that people at least mostly trusted. You know what I'm saying? There was some trust in a general sense that things were just, true, and certain things were like wrong. And that floor is just gone. It's gone now, okay? We've watched institutions fail us. We've watched people in power do things that were supposed to be impossible. We've watched things that used to be fringe conspiracy theories become confirmed headlines. Well, how many times I was told I was crazy, literally, because I believed conspiracy theories, and they all turned out to be true. We've watched the food that we grew up eating turn into things that like are making us sick, and like toxic poisons and chemicals. And we watch powerful people do absolutely horrific things, and then they just mock us to our faces, like oh well, we got away with it, and so we're just gonna keep doing it, and we're just gonna mock you even more. And so the result of all this is that people don't even know where to land anymore. I mean, do you? Because I don't. The psychological truth about that is humans can survive almost anything if they have an actual framework for it. They have something solid to stand on. Like if they have meaning. When meaning collapses, I don't know why this keeps turning off. When meaning collapses, you can't trust anything, right? It's like, that's when people start disappearing inside themselves. That's when, isolation gets worse, and suicide rates go up, because they are going up dramatically. And then you have governments like Canada, the MAID program, assisting people in dying like when they're young, because they're like, oh, well, the economy sucks because of us, because of our government, so we're just going to help you die since you can't get a job. I mean, this is like where we're at right now. And I do believe America's headed there. But it's a collective crisis of meaning, and we're all in this together, whether we want to admit it or not. So anyway, I just wanted to talk to you guys today, like transparently. It's not a solution. It's not like a 5-step plan, and it's just permission to call it what it is. It's like, you're not too sensitive. The world is genuinely like insane right now. And I don't think it's going to get that much better, to be honest with you. I have a scriptural worldview, and I believe these things have to happen, but it doesn't make the experience of it any less real or any less stressful, going through it. You're not paranoid, things that were hidden are actually being exposed now, and you're not weak for struggling to keep up. I mean, the pace is genuinely inhuman. It's just not human. And we're not broken for feeling like something is wrong, because something is freaking wrong. And our instincts are working perfectly. So it's gaslighting from the culture, from media, from the pressure to perform and produce and optimize and brand, and but they tell you it's your fault because you're not thriving. It's your fault that you just need a better morning routine. You just need to work harder, a better mindset, more discipline. But sometimes the most sane response to an insane world is just to stop pretending it's fine. You're allowed to say, hey, this is a lot. This is too much. I need to find my ground again. It's not giving up. It's actually the beginning of finding your way back. And again, we're not probably going to find our way back to like an insane world per se, but I've really been thinking about building community and just decompressing from all this stuff, and yeah, still creating content, because I do want to do that, but doing it in a batching type of way, so that I am not glued to my phone and glued to the computer 24/7 anymore. So this video was just made because I'm not above the conversation. I'm in it. I'm in this. I mean, I have days where I feel the weight of all this. I genuinely don't know how to make sense of any of it except for the scriptures. And I've learned that trying to fix that feeling immediately is actually like the wrong move. You just have to feel the weight sometimes of something before you can figure out what to do with it. I'm not going to lie to you. I've been nostalgic for the past. I've been visiting my parents that I'm so fortunate are still alive. but I've been reminiscing of my childhood and going through photo albums and remembering simpler times and missing that, if I'm being completely honest. And I'm not saying that none of us, like even my parents probably missed their childhood to some degree, but it's different now. It's like, because it was literally like a way different world, even in the 80s and 90s, even in the early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? So I just want you to know you're not the only one. And if you're, walking around with like a glazed, overloaded, look, I, you can send them this video. I mean, if it's helpful. So some people just need to know they're not alone in what they're feeling. The world is a lot right now, and it's causing relationships to break down. It's causing just extreme levels of narcissism, sociopathy, and just panic, and like I said, like fight or flight, constant fight or flight. And that's it. That's all I had to say today. I just hope everybody can hear that sees this video can know that I'm with you. I'm in the trenches with you, and I feel it too. So hope you guys have a better day, and I will try to make more positive content. Things are on the upswing for me a little bit after I did get the money back that was stolen from the bank. They're doing an investigation, and we will and I hope this individual is brought to justice, because they committed a felony. So, and they're not mentally stable. So, but anyway, guys, I hope you guys have an amazing day as much as possible, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye-bye.